I'm Evelyn, 35, a woman who craves attention, though I'd never admit it out loud. My marriage to Tom was a steady machine safe, predictable but cold as a winter night in Denver. The spark we once had fizzled out years ago, buried under his endless work hours. Tom's eyes were always on his deadlines, never on me, leaving me restless, hungry for something to break the monotony. Our suburban house with its neat lawn and quiet rooms felt like a cage. Days bled into weeks, weeks into months, each one heavier with my unspoken discontent. One humid summer evening, I cracked open the bathroom window, letting the warm breeze tangle with the steam from my bath. I sank into the water, the heat loosening the knots in my soul, a fleeting escape from the emptiness. I didn't know Marcus, our neighbor, was out on his balcony watering his plants. His eyes, sharp and curious, caught a glimpse of me through the window, my silhouette framed in the soft light. His heart must have kicked hard, a forbidden thrill seizing him. Marcus wasn't a creep, just a man with too much time and a wandering gaze. Living alone gave him space to notice things, and I'd always stood out my quiet elegance, my hidden sadness. He tried to look away, but something held him there, pinned by the weight of that stolen moment. I turned my head and our eyes locked. A jolt shot through me, electric raw like a match struck in the dark. The moment was brief, but heavy, undeniable. My cheeks burned, shame and excitement twisting together. I yanked the curtains shut, heart hammering. Had he seen everything? Was he still watching? And why did that thought send a shiver of thrill down my spine? Marcus, just as rattled, retreated inside, cursing himself for not turning away sooner. But my image was burned into his mind, a spark he couldn't shake. The next day, I caught myself glancing at his house, my pulse quickening. Was he watching me now? Would he tell anyone? Part of me wanted to confront him, clear the air. But another part, buried deep under years of routine, felt alive, stirred by the danger of it all. Tom, oblivious as ever, kissed my cheek before heading to work, leaving me alone again. I stared out the window, replaying that moment with Marcus, the air thick with what-ifs. My best friend Clara noticed the shift in me over coffee that afternoon. "You seem different," she said, her smile sharp, knowing. I brushed it off, but her eyes saw through me, sensing the storm brewing. Clara had her own secrets, a quiet longing for Tom she'd never voice. She played the loyal friend, but her concern masked a deeper motive, a need to keep me from spiraling into something reckless. That evening, I stepped onto the porch to water the flowers, my eyes drifting to Marcus's house. There he was on his balcony, like fate had planned it. Our gazes met again, but this time I didn't look away. I smiled, a small, daring curve of my lips, and he hesitated before returning it, a silent pact forming between us. Something unspoken, past a line, crossed, a temptation to cross it further. The days that followed buzzed with tension, a tightrope stretched between us. I couldn't shake Marcus from my mind. His quiet charm, his easy smile at the grocery store, the way he made me feel seen, it was intoxicating. I'd forgotten what it felt like to be wanted, truly wanted, not just tolerated. Tom's absence left a void, and Marcus filled it, his presence a dangerous pull. One evening, as the sun bled red across the horizon, I saw him outside. My heart leapt reckless, and before I could stop myself, I called out, "Marcus." He turned, surprise flickering in his eyes before they softened into a smile. The air crackled as we talked small talk about the weather, but laced with something heavier, something unspoken. His gaze lingered, and my words turned flirtatious, bolder than I meant. We both felt it, the pull undeniable, dangerous. "We need to talk," he said, voice low. steady cutting through the haze like a blade. He paused, studying me, referencing that night. I swallowed, my throat tight. I was embarrassed, I admitted, but a small voice inside whispered, "I wasn't sorry at all. Maybe you weren't the only one caught in that moment." I was flirting, drawn to him, unable to pretend otherwise. He stepped closer, his presence overwhelming. His hand brushed mine, sending a shockwave through me, a ripple of want I couldn't deny. "Are you sure about this?" he asked, voice soft but heavy. I didn't answer with words, my body spoke louder, closing the gap between us. His lips met mine, tentative at first, then urgent, a fire igniting that burned away the world. I kissed him back, drowning in the weight of my own desire. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind. Marcus and I stole moments whenever Tom was gone, our secret, a dangerous game of stolen glances and hurried touches. I felt alive for the first time in years, each kiss, a rebellion against the life I'd settled for. But every touch came with a shadow of guilt, a weight I couldn't shake. Tom, blind to it all, came home late, exhausted, his mind elsewhere. Clara, though, saw the change in me. My distance, my distraction, she knew something was wrong. She'd always loved Tom, a secret she buried deep, but now she edged closer to him, offering comfort when he seemed frustrated with me. She played the friend, but her motives were tangled, a mix of loyalty and envy. Clara and Tom grew closer, their bond shifting from friendly to something more. She savored the control, the thrill of taking what I had, but guilt gnawed at her too. She didn't want to destroy me, but the pull of Tom was too strong. Meanwhile, my affair with Marcus consumed me. I counted the hours until we could meet, our talks and laughter blending into moments of raw passion. But each time guilt crept in, a poison seeping into my joy. I told myself Tom's neglect justified it, but deep down, I knew I was betraying everything we'd built. Marcus felt the weight, too. What started as a spark had grown into a fire, dangerous and consuming. He heard whispers of Tom's suspicions, felt the neighborhood's tension. One night, alone in his living room, he stared at his phone, torn between ending it and holding on. My text came through. "I think it's over." Simple words, heavy with finality. He stared at them, relief and regret twisting together. He wanted me, but the cost was closing in. Tom wasn't blind anymore. He noticed my late-night texts, the glow of my phone in the dark. He saw the distance in my eyes, the shift in my routines. Suspicion gnawed at him, but he pushed it down, blaming his own insecurities. Then came the night it all unraveled. He came home early, planning a surprise dinner, hoping to bridge the gap between us. The front door was ajar, a small thing, but it set his nerves on edge. He called my name, but the house was too quiet, a silence that screamed trouble. Upstairs, he found my phone on the bed, a message from Marcus glowing, "I miss you." His heart sank, the betrayal hitting like a fist to the gut. Anger, pain, confusion swirled inside him. How had we ended up here? I came downstairs, my face paling as I saw Tom at the door, his expression cold as stone. His silence was a force crushing me. "Tom," I said, voice shaking, but he walked past me, fists clenched the air, thick with his rage. "I'm sorry," I whispered, the words hollow against the weight of my sin. He turned, eyes blazing with betrayal. "How long?" he demanded, voice low, lethal. Tears stung my eyes, my heart pounding. "I don't know," I stammered. "It just happened." His fist tightened, anger boiling over. "I tried to be a good husband, Evelyn. I gave you everything. Was it ever enough?" His words cut deep, exposing the truth I'd buried. "You're pathetic," he spat, voice sharp with venom. "You think this was a mistake? An accident?" I flinched, his anger a mirror to my guilt. I'd broken him, and the pain of that realization hurt worse than anything. Clara, too, was unraveling. Her affair with Tom, born of comfort, had grown too heavy. She'd never meant to fall this far, but her feelings for him, tangled with jealousy and revenge, had trapped her. She played the supportive friend, but each moment with Tom deepened her guilt, her fear of discovery. Tom confronted Clara, and she didn't deny it. His world collapsed, the double betrayal too much to bear. "You knew," he said, voice raw. "You knew about Evelyn and still did this." Clara's voice was small, ashamed. "I didn't mean to hurt you, Tom. It just happened." He laughed, a bitter sound. "Hurt me. This is beyond hurt." I stood on the sidelines, a stranger in my own life. I'd lost Tom, Clara, and myself. Marcus was a fading memory, a fleeting thrill that felt foolish now. I wanted to fix it, but there was no undoing the lies, the betrayal, the wreckage. The truth was a trap, and we were all caught. No easy way out, no quick fix. The lies had woven too tight, the cuts too deep. We each had to pick up the pieces of a shattered reality, knowing it could never be whole again.